Let's start, Hiral.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Kunal Shah, Head of Commodities Research, joining in. Welcome to the show, Kunal. Let's start the discussion with what's happening with crude. We've started to see that pressure once again in terms of where crude prices go. What's the sense? We understand that, yes, the number of cases are increasing. There are worries over fuel demand. Do you think that's one of the reasons which will play spoil sport in terms of crude? And what's the low that we could see maybe into today or tomorrow's session?
Okay, so I'll start one small presentation, okay, which I gave, and I'll explain the audience a small 2-3 slides basically
Hmm.
to explain them is basically happening. So this presentation I gave last week, but some of them may have attended this, but I would really put a light on this slide, okay. So this we are able to. I'm just sharing the screen. 1 minute. Can everyone see?
No, it's not shared,
One,
Kunal.
yeah, 1 minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now this is the screen which really I want everyone to focus on. So if you look here, the loan guarantees and the loan support offered by central banks. So if you look this slide as a percentage of GDP, so total outstanding loan, the loan book of France, 12% of that has been supported by France central bank. 22% of the total loans of banks supported by central banks now. 15% UK, 22% Italy, 23% Japan, 10% US. And if you look at the last column, so look at the fiscal stimulus which is infused till date. So 340 billion, 150 billion, 260 billion, 130. So this roughly accounts for $1 trillion. Japan 46 trillion yen, US 2.2 trillion yen. So believe me, nothing is going to go down. Everyone is afraid, that these are crude was trading at 1100 rupees and right now it is trading at 3000 rupees. Can I buy now or will I be stuck? So my answer to all of you is you are not going to get stuck badly and crude is not going down to 2000 again. In near future, it doesn't look like. So OPEC is basically the production cut, which I always spoke about, 9.7 million barrels. OPEC has decided that they are going to produce 2 million barrels of oil more than what they are producing. So that comes to around 7.5, 7.6 million barrels. So still 7 million barrels of production cut in the history of oil in last 20 years, 30 years, we have not seen it. So it is significant, and since a lot of economies are opening down, and even if you look at India, the Indian fuel consumption is gradually rising. So I think oil is not going to go down. Around 2900 should be the bottom for the near term. 20, 3000, you can buy. 3050, 60 you can book a profit. 3100 we can take a alternative selling call. But right now it seems that it's a buy at dips market, and we are going to see some more upside coming in rather than downside immediately. So the only one point I would like to mention is at evening session at any point of day or any given time you see Dow Jones down by 500 800 points, then at that time don't even think about it, exit your long position. So at night Dow Jones will be the good barometer of risk. So till that is not happening, not to worry and stay long.
Right. So that's the word coming in with regards to where crude is concerned right now. Does not seem to be an issue, and OPEC does continue cut of almost around 7.5 million barrels per day, which Kanal is saying as well, is something which is a big number as well. Kunal, if you have to talk with regards to what's happening with gold as well as silver, what's the sense that you pick up right now? Because do you see risks in the potential short term?
So I will show you certain slides for gold and silver, and I would first talk about silver. And I want the panelists to write it on the message. You know what they think after seeing this slide. So first, you look at this slide. Can everyone see the slide? Yeah. So the first slide, if you look at this slide, the annual change in silver mine supply. So from last 3 years, what is happening is the silver mining is definitely on the downside. So this year we are expecting silver mine production to go down by 6% of the global
Mm.
supply. Supported by that, if you look at this chart, okay, so from where the silver supply is going down, it's mainly going down from the South American countries on account of COVID crisis. So if you see here, 25 to 30% drop in the silver supply is witnessed from South America. Okay.
Mm.
Now, if you look at the second chart, which is second slide, which is annual addition to the silver mine capacity. So if you look, silver there is from 2013 to 2020. So from last 7 years, the silver mine capacity has been constantly going down. Okay, so that is a very bullish trigger for a time like this, when we see so much money printing and some commodities in a the supply side is getting weaker and weaker. So for example, if silver prices become 60,000, the mine supply is not going to shoot up immediately, because there has been
Right.
constant uh, uh, the money is not coming to the silver mining industry. Now 40 to 45% of the silver comes from the secondary mines of copper, zinc, lead, aluminum, so these mines, along with the zinc and lead, it produces silver. So if you look here, from 2019, the secondary production of silver is also going down. Okay, and now the last chart, that is global bullion silver inventories. So the as on today, the silver inventory is as good as 1.1 year of supply. So
Mm.
now, can anyone tell me what is the fundamentals of silver? I've explained you all. So I'm making very clear to everyone. I told it. I wrote it on the group also at 50,000 also. 55,000 target what we gave. It's already at 53,000. Don't worry about the corrections or the downfall which you see in a near term, short term. The outlook is very bright. From the 6 to 8 months to 1 year point of view, it looks poised to test 65,000. In a short term, it is poised to test 55,000. So don't worry. This is one commodity I want everyone to keep a very close eye on, and all the correction, all the downside you see would be the buying opportunity. There is only one negative news in gold and silver. If I just show you this chart, okay, and I'll explain you. So if you look here, the net speculative longs in gold, okay. So here, if you see here, there has been a massive build up, and then we saw correction. Here also, again, it is reaching here to 3 lakh contracts, okay. So every time gold reaches over here, it witnesses some correction. So I think 1825, 1830 should be the temporary top for the gold, and it can see some profit taking after that. But there is a massive longs created by ETF. If you look at this chart, ETFs are buying gold like no tomorrow. So everyone is long. So gold, I'm not that very bullish, but silver, I'm very bullish now. So I would recommend, sometimes if you feel that there can be a profit taking, you can sell gold and buy silver in short term. But the long term outlook on gold continues to remain bullish.
Right. So that's with regards to where the precious metals are concerned. And with this, what's the sense, Kunal, that you have with base metals? Because if you talk about today's session as well, you have nickel, which is trading pretty much firm in today's day of trade. Copper, however, there is some bit of weakness that we have been seeing. Where would your bets be?
Base metals also I'm bullish. The data from China, what we saw was not that bearish, and I'm of the view that in near term this metal prices are not going down. Small correction of 4-5 rupees is a great buy. Copper 495, even at current market price. I'm generally very aggressive when it comes to giving my view. So I am still comfortable in going long in copper. So I'm not afraid that copper is shot up from 400 to 500 rupees. So
Hmm.
please be worried. No, still the outlook is positive only, and I'm not expecting copper to decline. 4-5 rupees correction can come during evening session. Don't worry about it. The trend is positive. 505, 508 is the levels what you can expect in copper. So nickel also, I had given positional call with the target of 1050. It tested 1042, and now it is again back to almost 1000. So I would still vouch to go long in nickel. Forget about the fundamentals. It's a liquidity play right now, and I think nickels also should already witness profit taking 20-30 rupees down from the targets what we've given. So these are good levels, 995, 1000 good levels to go along. 975 to 980 is stop loss level, and expect again 1030-35. So my levels are not basically absolute
Hmm.
technical levels, but I just give you a rough range, so where you can book your profit or loss.
Right. And Kunal, with this, what's happening with the dollar index as well is pretty interesting. Uh,
Hmm.
it hit a low of almost around say 95.7 on the 10th of June. 95.97 is where it's trading right now. Do you think there is still that vulnerability in terms of where the dollar index is concerned? Because if that breaks lower, then you could see some additional support that could be coming in for gold as well.
Yeah. So, like I said, the outlook on dollar index also is weak. But what generally happens is that any time there is some development, some inflation data comes. So last week there was an inflation data of US, which was positive. So when that data came, there was a massive, long built up in dollar, but that doesn't last. Okay, what I have seen is that every time you see dollar index strengthening, okay, it doesn't last. The fundamental of US dollar index is definitely weak. But at the same time, what is happening is like this liquidity is flowing to the emerging market currency. So I'll explain you in a very simple way. So if, for example, I'm sitting in US and I know the trend of the US dollar is going to remain weak, so I invest my money in emerging market currency. So say, for example, I invested in Indian rupee at 77 rupees. So when I'm expecting dollar to crash, when dollar crashes, Indian rupee will appreciate. That is what is happening. Nothing has changed in the fundamental of the Indian rupee, but then to Indian rupees has been appreciating. Okay. So
Correct.
my view is that the dollar index is going to remain under pressure from the broader point of view. And rupee, I think Anup has asked me the question, and I'm addressing to everyone. Rupee, the trend is definitely is on the. You are going to see rupee remaining under pressure. So 75.40, 75.50, that's it. I don't expect USD INR to go above that. And on the downside, it can again retest 74.50 to 74.20 kind of levels. So I'm slightly bullish on rupee in spite of the economic news has haven't been great in India.
Hmm.
So, but then too, I'm bullish on Indian rupee.
Right. That's with regards to the Indian rupees concern. We've spoken about base metals, crude, as well as precious metals. Anything on the agri commodity side, Kunal, that looks interesting?
Yeah, so I'm bullish on agriculture commodities also, and I'm bullish on the commodities as an complex. So I recommend to go along in Guar seed for the target of 39.50 to 39.80. I'm bullish on chana for the upside target of 4400. I'm bullish on soya oil, soya bean, all these complex. So in India, in Maharashtra, where we are staying, we saw good rainfall, but in many parts of Gujarat, in many parts of Rajasthan, the rainfall is still muted. It's not so it's expected to pick up in the month of August, but till now the rain distribution across India is not very encouraging. Okay, so that is also going to lend support. And other thing is the international agriculture commodity prices are going to go up. So all the commodity which are internationally linked, so may it be cotton, may it be sugar, all these commodities are definitely going to remain under bullish tone. So this year is the La Nina year. So the Asian countries get a better rain, but the South American and the US and other countries don't get. There is the rainfall will not be normal over there, and this time is very critical for the commodities like soya bean and everything, where the acreage is determined during this period. So I'm of the view that agriculture commodities are one of the best bets going forward. So if you don't understand the entire complex, you can buy agridex, which and keep rolling over that. So I see agridex at 1150 to 1160 next 3 to 4 months. So that is also that will give you 8 to 10% return. That is not small in this kind of market. and broadly, I'm bullish on the few commodity which I've mentioned. So you can remain long. So agriculture commodity also looks very bullish.
Right. So agri So across there is that little bullish trend that we are picking up as well right now with regards to the commodities market as a space is concerned. So let's see how this pans out from here on. But thank you everyone. Thank you Kunal for joining in. Thank you attendees and viewers as well for being part of the show.